Okay. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Polynomial. I hope it's a third session. Okay, anyhow, don't worry. After finishing this chapter, I will put a one shot video so that you are going to learn everything from the beginning to end. I'm going to upload that video in my YouTube channel. There you can watch it. I hope you guys have subscribed to my channel. So, the today's class uh, we are going to discuss about some problems on the remainder theorem. Okay, let me take the first problem here, and one thing I would like to request you guys, please, if you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe it, and please share with your friends also. Okay, let's begin the class. So today we are going to cover exercise 2.3, and after that we are going to discuss about factor theorem. Okay, the first question here: find the remainder remainder when x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1 is divided by first, if it is divided by x plus 1, what is the remainder? Second question, if that polynomial is divided by x minus 1 by 2, what is the remainder? If that polynomial divided by x, then what is the polynomial? Then fourth, if that polynomial is divided by x plus 5, what is the polynomial? What is the remainder? Fifth, if that same polynomial divided by 5 plus 2x, then what is the remainder? These all are the things we have to identify. Let's begin, guys. Here simple. What is the polynomial they have given? Yes, p of x. Solution here. Okay. So they have given x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1. This is the polynomial, and they are asking you to divide this polynomial in first question. They are asking you to divide this polynomial with x plus 1. Okay, you have to find out remainder. So in order to find out remainder, so we should use remainder theorem. What does this remainder theorem says? Remainder theorem says, if a polynomial, let's say p of x, is divided by let's say cube of x, a normal cube of x minus a kind of polynomial. If it divides by this kind of polynomial, x minus a kind of polynomial, see here x plus 1, so 1 degree polynomial, right? So 1 degree, here also it is 1 degree polynomial. If it divides by this kind of polynomial, then what is the remainder you are going to get according to the remainder theorem? If any polynomial which is having degree more than this, if it divides by this, then what is the remainder we are going to get? So in the remainder theorem says that when this polynomial divides by this kind of polynomial, where the condition is the degree of this polynomial, degree of p of x polynomial is greater than the degree of the x minus a polynomial. If this is the case, so then we are going to get a remainder will be p of a. Remainder will be p of a. That means, so you just take the value of a here. This is a, right? If you put that value, p of a means that is in place of x. If you put that value in place of x, So you are going to get a remainder. Let's how to do that. Suppose here we have x minus a. This is our general form. So what can I do here? I will do like this. I'll send a towards here. Now x is equal to a. Here I have calculated the value of x. Now what I will do, I will put this value a in this polynomial p of x. Then I'm gonna get a remainder. So when I put in place of x a, so p of x will become p of a. This is my going. What is the thing you are going to get, right? P of a, that is going to be your remainder. The same thing here, our p of x is this one. Okay, and x minus a, that what we have linear the polynomial, another polynomial. Here we have x plus 1. First we have to find out the value of a. Okay, so x is equal to, what happens if we send minus 1 to plus 1 towards here, it becomes minus 1. Now it is exactly in this form, right? X is equal to a. So that what is there in place of a? That is minus 1. Now let's find out, let's put this value in this polynomial. Okay, so you will get the remainder of this one. Okay, let's find out this p of minus 1, which is equal to p of a. Okay, so what is this? The value of a is minus 1. So you have to put that minus 1 in this polynomial. So minus 1 whole cube plus 3 into minus 1 whole square plus 3 into minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 whole cube means you are going to get minus 1 plus minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, and 3 into 1 you are going to get 3. Okay, here 3 into minus 1 you are going to get minus 3 plus 1. Here minus 1 plus 3, here plus into minus, minus 3 and plus 1 you are going to get. Here minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 plus 1 plus 3 minus 3. So the answer is finally the 0. So when you divide this polynomial p of x by x plus 1, so your remainder is 0. Your remainder is 0. Likewise, you have to find out a remainder of this polynomial if it divides by this one. Okay, let's see that also. I hope you understood this now, this much. Okay, let's take that polynomial what we have. Okay, let me remove this here. So here only I can solve it. Okay, so let's take the given polynomial here. Second question, the polynomial p of x is equal to x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1. So this is our given polynomial. And what is the second one? Polynomial, linear polynomial, which is going to divide this polynomial. That let's take x minus 1 by 2. Here it is exactly looks like x minus a. Find out the value of a here. If you send minus 1 by 2 here, it will become plus 1 by 2. Now the value of a is 1 by 2. If you put that 1 by 2 in this place of x, you will get your answer. Okay, let's find out that. Sorry for the interference. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 whole cube plus 3 into 1 by 2 whole square plus 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1. Okay, 1 by 2 whole cube is nothing but 1 cube is nothing but 1 only. 2 cube is nothing but 8 plus 1 square is nothing but 1 only. 2 square is nothing but 4, and 3 into 1 it is 3 upon 2 plus 1 you are going to get here. So you got 1 by 8 plus 3 by 4, and you have got here 3 by 2 and plus 1. So just I'll write a numerator also. You can write 1 by 1 is nothing but 1 by 1 only. Now take LCM. 8, 4, 2, 1 is there. What is the LCM you are going to get? Your LCM will be 8 only. Okay, everywhere on the top you write down 8. So then cancel out. 8 1 ja, 8 1 ja, 4 1 ja, 4 2 ja, 2 1 ja, 2 4 ja, 1 1 ja, 8. It will not cancel. Now here we left 1. 1 into 1 is nothing but 1. So here we have 2, and 2 into 3, that is 6. Then here we have 4. 4 into 3, that is 12. And here we have 8. 8 into 1, that is 8. So this property you have studied in your 8th class. Okay. So here how much it is? 6 plus 12, 18. 18 plus 8, 27 totally upon 8. This is your answer. I hope you understood this. And I hope you are copying this. Okay. Always whenever you are going to attend a maths class, you should have a pen and notebook along with that. So along with the video, you should start solving it so that you will get the idea. Okay, if you simply watch the video, you don't get anything. Please make sure that you are going to make a copy of it also along with the video. Every step you have to follow clearly, and you should keep on copying it, so that only you will understand the things. And this is the way you are going to do with mathematics. Okay. So whenever you are going to learn biology, there you should concentrate on the diagrams. Whatever the thing you are going to learn, right, learn with through the diagrams in biology especially. Okay, in physics you have to understand the concept, you have to relate the concept to your real time, and you have to visualize it, and then you will get it, that thing in your mind. Otherwise it will not store in your, it will not shift from frontal brain to occipital brain. Okay, so occipital brain is the one which is your permanent memory. Okay, whatever you are receiving now, it will be storing in your frontal brain. You have to shift that to your occipital lobe means. So you have to do lot of revision. You should get you should have some visualization. That then only you can shift that data. You can make that data permanent. Otherwise, it is not possible. It will wave off. If you start learning another chapter, so this chapter will go off if you don't do it proper revision and proper recollection and proper visualization. Okay, guys, it is nothing is there in this remainder theorem. Simply, so we are going to get the value of a, and when we put that value of a in the polynomial, so whatever the value, whatever the thing, we are going to get the polynomial for that polynomial, which is going to be your remainder. I hope you understood. Let's go to the next question. Okay, I hope you copied this. Okay, let me remove here the first question. Okay, let's divide. So the same polynomial, let's given polynomial is p of x is equal to x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1. I am going to divide this time with x. Okay, let's take x. Given the thing, the polynomial which is going to divide this is x. Now it is not in the form of x minus a. Okay, is it in the form of x minus a? So not in the form of x minus a. Let's convert this in the form of it. How can you write this? X minus 0. Now in place of a is a constant term, we can have anything. Okay, 0 is also constant. Now it is looking like in this form. Let's find out the value of a. So I'll send this. So now the value of a is 0. If you put this value over here, you will get a remainder. Let's find out this. P of 0 is equal to 0 cube plus 3 into 0 square plus 3 into 0 plus 1. Here 0 cube is nothing but 0. So 0 square into 0, the 3 into 0 is 0. 3 into 0 is 0 plus 1. So your answer is plus 1. Okay, like that. I hope you understood this. Let me remove this part. I hope you copied this also. Okay, let's begin. So let's divide the same polynomial p of x with this now. Okay, x plus 5 we have. Okay, I hope you do this. Okay, you'll get minus 5 for a. So I'll skip this. You can do it for your practice. I'll take this now. 5 plus 2x. Okay, it looks a bit different. So now this is in the form of the x plus x minus a form only, because here in case we have a only first. You can write like that also in the form 2x plus 5. Now it is looking like this. If you want to write it in the form of x minus a form, you can write like this also. 2x plus minus 5. 2x minus of minus 5. You can write like this. So don't do this. It is confusing one. You might have confused. Simply the process you follow. Find out the value of x. So that is going to be the simplest thing. 2x is equal to, if you send 5 towards that, plus value will become minus, and x is equal to minus 5 by 2 you are going to get. So if you put this value in this polynomial, you are going to get a remainder. That's very simple it is. Okay, let's find out that p of minus 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2 cube plus 3 into minus 5 by 2 square plus 3 into minus 5 by 2 plus 1. Okay, 5 cube means nothing but 5 into 5 into 5. So minus 3 times minus means minus only you are going to get. 5 5 ja 25, 25 5 ja 125, right? 25 5 ja 125 only. Minus 125. 2 cube is nothing but 8. Here 5 5 ja it is 25. So 25 upon 4 you are going to get. You have to multiply this. Plus into minus minus. 3 5 ja 15 upon 6. You are going to get plus 1 here. At the same time, minus 125. 3 into 25, it is 75 upon 4 minus 15 by 6 plus 1. Okay, so here I forgot to write. Now take LCM of 8461. How do you calculate 8461? Just take LCM of 8461. If you want to calculate, you can calculate here. 2 ja, if we start, 2 4 ja it will go, 2 2 ja, 2 3 ja. So 2 2 ja it will go, 2 1 ja, 3 as it is. So 2 1 ja it will go, 1 as it, 3 as it is. Now 3 1 ja it will go. Now 2 2 ja 4, 4 2 ja 8, 8 3 ja it is 24. So LCM is 24. So write this LCM on the top everywhere. Okay, 8 1 ja 8 3 ja it will go, 4 1 ja 4 6 ja it will go, 6 1 ja 6 4 ja it will go, 24 will remain. Minus 125 into 3 how much? 375. See if you can do it. 125 into 3, 15, 6 plus 7, 3, 375. Minus 375. Plus 75, 6 j you have. 6 is there. Sorry. No, 6 is there. 6 into 75. So you can calculate here. 75 into 6. 6 5 ja 30. 42 plus 3. 42 plus 3 how much? 45. That is 450 you are going to. And minus 15. And here what we have? 4 away. 15 4 ja. You know 15 4 ja it is 60. You can. That's 60. Minus 60. 1 into 24, that is plus 24. So now you do this. You add these two things, negative terms, add these positive terms. Here what is there? Minus 375 and 60, minus 60. Okay, 5, 13, 4. It is totally minus 435 plus 430 plus 24. See here, 430, or it is what? How much I wrote here? 450 it is. 75 6 ja 30. Yes, 450 plus 24, it is 470. 474. You can write 474 upon 24. Okay, just subtract these two things and take a bigger value. Bigger value is plus only, so definitely you will get a plus value. If you remove in 474, if you remove 435, so 14 means 9 you are going to get, 630. You are going to get 39 upon 24. This is your answer. Okay, I hope you understood this, guys. So by this we finish this exercise. So I left this one for your practice purpose. You can practice it. Okay, and I'll also share you the worksheet. So there you will find plenty of problems. So you can practice it. And I'll also upload a one short video of this polynomial where you can revise your all the concepts in just 30 to 40 minutes. In 30 to 40 minutes, you are going to learn all of these concepts along with the exercise also. Okay, shall we move to the next one? Yes, let's move to the next question. Main of this. Okay, let's take a second question. Here, you have to find out the remainder. Second question. Find the remainder. Find the remainder when a polynomial x cube minus ax square plus 6x minus a is divided by x minus a. Here same thing. Here you have to find out the value of a. Same thing. So given polynomial, here the solution. Given polynomial is p of x is equal to x cube minus ax square plus 6x minus a, and the thing which is going to divide linear, I'll name it as g of x is equal to x minus a. I hope this is not good. Okay, so let's divide. So divide this, what we have to do here, we have to calculate the value of x. So this is exactly in the form of x minus a. Let's find out value of x. Value of x is equal to, now I can find out p of a easily. What is the value of a here? The value of a is a itself here. So replace x with a, that is a cube minus a already we have. In place of x I am gonna put a square plus 6. In place of x I am gonna put a and minus a. Here a cube means a cube only. So minus a into a square is nothing but a cube plus 6a minus a. Here you can see nothing is there, means plus will be there. This cancelled out, this cancelled out. Plus a cube minus x. And you left with 6a minus a. 6a minus a. Here if you take a as a common, you get 6 minus 1, because in both the terms you have a, right? I took a as common, a, and 6 minus 1 is 5, so that your answer is 5a. Okay, your answer is 5a. I hope you guys are copying. So simply watching a video doesn't mean, and it doesn't yield anything for you guys. Please take a notebook and start copying it along with the videos. Now this is a live video, you cannot rewind it and you cannot forward it. So I am requesting you to be with the class. So if you want to see this video again and again, it will be available in YouTube. There you can also watch it. Okay, next question I will take. So third question. Let's take a third question here. This I'll use the same color. Third question of exercise 2.3. Check whether whether 7 plus 3x is a factor of 3x cube plus 7x. So in this question, let's say solution. So whatever we did now, the same thing we are going to do, but before that we are going to do some arrangement here. So in this case, you have to understand this question first. So what he is asking you? So he is asking you to check whether this one, let me take white color, whether this one, sorry, this is white, let me take one minute. Whether this one is a factor of this polynomial, he is asking you to do. So what is this factor? First you have to understand that factor. So let's say, suppose you have 6. If I ask you to write down the factors, you will write 2 and 3, 1 and 6. Why you write these numbers? Why don't you write 4? Why don't you write 4? Because 4 doesn't divide 6 completely. It doesn't gives you 0 remainder. You say, let's try to divide this. Okay, 4 6, 4 on 4, you are going to get remainder. Here remainder is not 0, remainder is not equal to 0. If remainder is equal to 0, then only you can say that this number is going to be a factor of this. Okay, if that number divides this number completely, then only we call that number as a factor of that. Let's say, why I am saying 2 is a factor of 6, because if you take the 6 here, and if you divide it by 2, 2 3 is 6 you are going to get, and remainder you are going to get 0. So because remainder is equal to 0, right? So because of that I am saying 2 is a factor of this, and here also I am saying 3 is a factor of 6. Why? Because 3 also divides it. Here I am saying 1 is a factor of, why? Because 1 also divides it. 6 is a factor, why? Because these all of the things divides. So in the same time, here is my polynomial, the same time this is my polynomial 3x cube plus 7x. So what is my duty here? I have to check whether this polynomial 7 plus 3x is a factor of this. So if I want to say this polynomial is a factor of this, then what is the remainder I should get? My remainder should be equal to 0. So why? Here when I get remainder 0, then only I said, so 2 as a factor of 6, right? Here I didn't get 0. When I divide 6 with 4, I didn't my remainder was not 0. That's why I'm not saying 4 is a factor of this. When I divide 6 with 3, I got my remainder is 0. That's why I said 3 is a factor of this. Here also same thing, guys. If you want to say this is a factor of this one, if you want to say, so this polynomial is a factor of this one, when you divide this polynomial with this, you should get remainder, you should get remainder is equal to 0. If you get remainder equal to 0, then you can easily say this is a factor of this. If you don't get, if remainder is not equal to 0, then you can say directly it is not a factor of it. That is what he is asking. He is asking you to check here, check whether this is a factor of this or not. So for that, what we have to do, we have to find out a remainder. So remainder theorem say what does it say is that, okay, simply you have to find out P of A. Okay, so here what we have, so given polynomial, I hope you understood this concept. Okay, again same procedure. What is the given polynomial? P of x is equal to 3x cube plus 7x he has given. And what is my linear polynomial which is dividing this polynomial? Let's say g of x is equal to 7 plus 3x. Okay, here what we have to find out? We have to find out x value. So 3x I'll keep it here only. If I send plus quantity here, it will become minus quantity. And I want x, so minus 7 by 3. Now I go, this is the value of a. As you know, right, x is equal to a. Okay, so x in place of a, I have minus 7 by 3. Let's find out that. If I put in place of x minus 7 by 3 here, what I am going to get? 3 into minus 7 by 3 whole cube plus 7 into minus 7 upon 3. So let's find out, guys, what we are going to get. What is the value, cube of 7? 7 7 ja 49. 49 7 ja, how much you are going to get? So you are going to get a 343. And 3 3 ja, it is 27. 3 cube is 27. Here you know, plus into minus minus, 7 7 ja 49 upon 3. And you just multiply this with this, 343 into 3. This is 9, 12, 9, 10. It is 1029. 1029. What is that? Minus 1029 upon 27. Minus 49 upon 3. And what is the LCM between 27 and 3? I hope you know. These two are multipliers each other. Then LCM will be the bigger one. That is 27. Let's write down 27 on the top. Okay. Here. 27 1 ja, 27 1 ja. 3 1 ja, 3 9 ja. Okay. So minus 1029 into 1, that is minus 1029. 49 9 ja. So that you have to calculate. 49 9 ja. 9 9 ja, 81. 9 4 ja, 9 4 ja, 36. Right? Plus 8 if you add here, how much you are going to get? Okay, 441 you are going to get. 49 9 ja, it is 490 minus. Yes. So this is minus 441. So your answer. So definitely, if we have to add this. Definitely, this is not going to be equal to 0, right? Whatever the remainder you are going to get, 27 here, minus 1029 and 441. It is 10, 5, 7, 4, 1, minus 140. So minus 1470, which is not equal to 0. So you can say, so that what we had. So this is not a factor of this one. I hope you understood this. So here 7 plus 3x is not a factor of 3x cube plus 7x. Let's 1 minute, guys. And now next we will see the very important one of your class, that is factor theorem. And this is very important, guys. Okay, let's say factor theorem. Okay, simple it is. If a polynomial p of x if p of x is a polynomial of degree, so not degree by n, is greater than or equal to 1, and here a is any real number, it may be any real number, then this is the condition. If there is a polynomial and a is any real number and the degree of that polynomial is greater than 1 or less equal to 1, then what happens here? Then first condition, then x minus a, here a may be any real number, then x minus a is a factor of p of x. Same thing, guys, just opposite of remainder theorem, nothing is there. So when you can say x is a factor of px, just now we have solved one problem, right? So when, if this is the condition, he is saying, the factor theorem is saying that if p of x is a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 and if a is any real number, then x minus a is a factor of this polynomial p of x. When you can say this is a factor of this polynomial p of x, when if the remainder is equal to 0, what is that remainder? P of a. That what we have done till now, P of a is equal to 0, then you can say it is a factor of this polynomial. This is what factor theorem says. Only this much, nothing else is there here. Okay, guys, shall we find out? If P of a is equal to 0, then you can say boldly, confidently, you can say x minus a is a factor of polynomial. When you can say this boldly, this statement, when remainder is 0, when you divide this polynomial with this polynomial, if remainder is 0, then you can say this polynomial is a factor of this polynomial. This is what remainder theorem says. I hope you understood. In the last problem only I explained this. In last problem only we came to know about. Okay, both are same actually. Okay, let's take one example so that you can understand. For better understanding, let's take one example here. Sorry for these small disturbances. Okay, it will happen. So I'll take one example here. So simply examine whether x plus 2 is a factor of x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6. Here you have to check whether this is a factor of this. If you want to say it is a factor of this, the remainder should be 0. If remainder is not 0, then you can say it is not a factor of it. Okay, I hope you understood, guys. So, and you have to check. So same this thing is a factor of one more question he is giving you. This is one more this is one polynomial. For this also you have to check, and you have to check whether this is a factor of this polynomial also, that is 2x plus 4. Here he has given two polynomial and he is asking you to check whether this is a factor of those two polynomials or not. Let's begin the solution. So whole area is covering. I just wanted to check whether it is covering or not. Okay, let's begin. Simple. First we'll take this polynomial, given polynomial. First polynomial I will take. Yes. Let's take p of x is equal to x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6. First I will take, and I have to check. Let's take my g of x. Let's take my g of x, that is a given thing, x plus 2. I have to check whether it is a factor of this. If so let's find out. I have to, for that I have to find out a remainder, that is p of a. I have to find out. So to find out p of a, I have to find out the value of a, that is x plus 2. Here we have, if you find it, if you send that to, it's minus 2. So that means p of minus 2, place minus 2 in x values, minus 2 cube plus 3 into minus 2 whole square plus 5 into minus 2. So it is 8, minus 8 you are going to get. So here you are going to get 3 into 4 ja 4, 3 4 ja 12 you are going to get, minus 10 you are going to get, plus 6 you are going to get. So add this. So this is minus 18, add this, plus 18, cancel out, you are going to get 0. So hence you can say, hence as equal to 0. So you can, so x plus 2 is a factor of, p of x. I hope you understood, guys. Let's check it for the second polynomial. So second polynomial is 2x plus 4 they have given, and I already know the value, that is x plus 2 is nothing but x is equal to minus 2. Let's find out here p of a, p of minus 2, 2 into minus 2 plus 4. Here I get minus 4 plus 4, cancels out, I get 0. So you can easily say x plus 2 is also a factor of, p of x, that is 2x plus 4. Here p of x is equal to, that is x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6. I hope you guys. Why I am saying this? Because my p of a is equal to 0. If your p of a is not equal to 0, then as we have saw in the last question, we didn't get reminder, we didn't get 0, right? Then I said it is not a factor of it. So this is the process we are going to follow, and this is what factor theorem says also. And we do have one more version of the factor theorem to find out the factors of the polynomial, given polynomial. Okay, to factorize we use two important method. So let's see the factorization method, factorization of polynomial. So two things are there for factorizing. So one is factor method, and we do have one more method, that is middle term splitting method. Both the things will cover now. I hope you understood this. Okay, let's go to the next topic. So before that, let me take one more problem on this factor theorem. Let's take one more problem here, so that you will get some more idea. This is one more kind of problem they can ask you, type of problem they can ask you here. Let's take one more problem here for this. Find the value of k. Here you have to find the value of k. If x minus 1 is a factor of, see guys, he is saying that it is a factor. He is clearly saying that it is a factor. He is not asking you to check whether it is a factor or not. He is saying that it is a factor of this. After that you have to find out that. Okay, it's a factor of 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k. Okay, he is saying here, it is very simple guys. He is saying that this is a factor of this. That means when he can say this is a factor of this, when he get p of a is equal to 0, then only he can say this is a factor of this, right, as we saw in the last 3 questions. Okay, so when we said the given polynomial, some linear polynomial is a factor of one polynomial, when we get a remainder is equal to 0. Now he is saying that in this question he is saying that this is a factor of 0, then he got that 0, right, then p of a is equal to 0, then definitely. So let's find out what is p of x. They have given here 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus 15, and here we know. So he is saying that x minus 1 is a factor of that, means our p of a will be equal to 0. What is our p of a? If we just find out x minus 1 is equal to 0, means x is equal to 1, that is p of 1 is also equal to 0, right? Whenever you get p of 1 is equal to 0, then only you will say this is a factor of this, and he is already saying that it is a factor of this. That means he is getting p of 1 is equal to 0. So let's replace p of 1 is equal to 0 and replace x by 1. 4 into 1 power 3 plus 3 into 1 power 2 minus 4 into 1 plus k. Here here as it is already a factor of this, so when he can say it is a factor of this, when p of 1 is becomes 0, then only he can say, right? So p of 1 is becoming 0. Why? Because it is a factor of this. And here what happens? 4 plus 3 minus 4 plus k. Here you have to find out k value, right? Just add these, plus 4 minus 4 cancels out, and here 0, we get 3 plus k. So if you want to find out k values, and thus towards here minus 3, k is equal to minus 3. If you put minus 3 here, so let's say I'll just write this p of x for extra purpose, verification purpose. I'm showing you this verify. So here we should have k. This is k. Okay, so it's looking like 15. Okay, now here, so what is the value we have calculated k? That is minus 3. So if I put minus 3 here, and if you put this minus 1, now this is my polynomial. Now if you want to check whether it is a factor of this, what we are going to do? We are going to calculate a value. If you put 1 here, it will become 0. P of 1 will become 0. Then only I am saying it is a factor of this. P of 1 cube plus 3 into 1 square minus 4 into 1 and minus 3. Just find out. It is 4 plus 3 minus 4 minus 3 plus 3 minus 3 minus 4 plus 4, 0. That's why he said it, right? So he already said it is a factor of this. That's why I have taken p of 1 is equal to 0 and I have calculated k. Okay, I hope you understood this kind of problems, and this is one more kind of problems, and it is very useful for your 10th class also. Same kind of problems you are going to get it in 10th also. Okay, let's see one more important method, that is splitting method. So factorization we have to study here. Let's see the factorization of polynomial. Sorry for these disturbances. Okay, simple. Here now we have to study one more important topic, factorization of polynomial. So this is very important for your future, guys. Factorization of polynomials, useful in everywhere. Okay, so we use factorization in algebra, in throughout algebra you are going to use. So and we use this everywhere. So use of factorization is very broader. So you have to understand what is factorization, how to factor a given polynomial. Okay, to do to find out the factors or factorization, we have three important methods. First one is factor method, second one is middle term splitting, and third one is Sridhar formula, that you are going to learn in your 10th class, Sridhar formula. Okay. Okay, let's begin, guys. Here first I will tell you about factor theorem. I'll take one simple problem and I will tell you how can we use factor theorem to identify the factors of a given polynomial. Okay, first I will tell you middle term splitting, then I will tell you the factor theorem. Okay, let's say middle term splitting. Let's take an example here. Both I will do here, both the methods I will apply. 6x square, the polynomial here is given 6x square plus 17x plus 5. Okay, it is a polynomial, we have to factorize it. So first I am factorizing it using middle term splitting. Middle term splitting method. And I hope you know already term means. Term means here three terms we have. This is one term, second term, third term. Here middle term is this one. Okay, we have to split the middle term, splitting method. In middle term splitting, we have to split the middle term, but how to split it? So some methods you have to follow. See here, first if you want to apply, first you to apply the middle term method, let's take that polynomial again one more time. Here I will write 6x square plus 17x plus 5. Here to apply the middle term method, first step 1. What you have to do? First multiply the constant term with the coefficient of x square. Okay, so that is the first step you have to do. That means 6 into 5 you are going to get 30. Yes, this is your 30. Now you next what we have to do? We have to split this middle term into two terms. Let's say I am splitting this into two terms. Okay, AB. How you have to split? The product of AB, these two terms, whatever the terms the values you are going to take, the product of these ABs should give you this 30. And either sum or subtraction of these two numbers should give me middle term, the coefficient of middle term. What is the coefficient of middle term? Plus 17. I have to get this. So in that manner you have to split a middle term number. For that you have to find a two beautiful number. The product of those should give you 30. To find out that, first what you have to do, so don't go broaderly, just write down the factors of this 30, so that you will get factors of 30 means the product of those two will give you 31. Let's write down the factors of 30. What are the factors of 30? So 1, 3, 2, okay, 5, 6, 7 is not a factor, 8 is not a factor, 9 is not a factor, 10 is a factor, 12 is not a factor, 13, 14 and 15 is a factor. Okay, 16 is not, 17 is not, 18 is not, 20 is not. Okay, these are my factors, and finally 30 is my factor. And what is my middle term? 17. Okay, after when you add these two numbers, okay, here or subtract, here these are the two beautiful numbers here we have. Take those two numbers, after adding or subtracting, those should give you 17 and multiplication should give you 30. Select that like that number. Here we have the list of numbers 1, 3, 2, 5, 6, 10, 15 and 30. In that only you have to select. In that only you have to select. So here if you take 30 and 1, so product, if you take these two 30 and 1, so 30 and 1 if you select in place of AB, let's say 30 and 1, the product I am getting 30, but if I add these two I will get 31 which is not equal to 17. If I subtract the two I will get 29 which is not equal to 17. The middle term I am not getting here. So 30 and 1 combination is cancelled. And if I take 6 and 5 here, 6 and 5 if I take here 6 and 5 I get 30, fine, but if I after adding I get 11 which is not equal to 17. If I subtract them I get 1 which is not equal to 17. So this combination is also not work out. This is also not working out. Let's take so 2 and 10 we don't get 30. Let's take 3 and 10. Okay, 2 and 10 is not possible. So 3 and 10 if you take 3 10, yes you are getting 30, but after adding or subtracting are you going to get 70? No, that means this combination is also not working out. And the last combination we have left, that is 2 and 15. Last combination we left here is 2 and 15. If you take 2 and 15, yes you get 30, and if you add these two, oh my god, we are getting here also. Yes, so that your beautiful numbers, so I am expecting my beautiful pair of numbers are, I hope you understood, you copy this. My pair of beautiful numbers are 2 and 15. And after selecting numbers, first copy the sign over here. What is the sign behind the second term? That is plus. Copy that sign to the bigger term. Okay, bigger value, plus 15. Now to get 17, so should I add 2 or should I subtract 2? So to get 17 I have to add, right? Then if I take minus, what happens? If I take minus here, I am going to get 13. So I will take plus here. So that this symbol is depends upon this case. But the symbol of this bigger value you should copy the symbol of the second term. Okay, now you got 2 and 15. So that you can write 17x like this, 2x and 15x. In place of 17x, you can write 2x and 15x. Okay, I hope you understood this. Let's go further. Now I have got two numbers, beautiful numbers, 6x square. Here I can write it is 2x plus 15x. You can write 15x here and 2x here. There is no condition. Okay, so as per the combination, here I have got two terms and two terms. Let's take common between them. So here common what we have here in these two terms. In these two terms only I am concentrating. Okay, in these two terms I will take common. Here I have x and here also I have x. Here I have 2 and 6. 2 is a factor of 6, so that I can take 2x comma here. So if I take 2x comma, that means here I have to divide all this term. That is 6x square also I have to divide by 2x, and 2x also I have to divide by 2x. 2x cancel means 1 I will get. Here x cancel out, 1x left, and 2 1 2 3 3x left here. So that means here I left with 3x and here I left with 1. So in the same case, here you also take a comma such a way that in this bracket you should get this one only. So if I take 5 here, what happens? 5 as a comma. In place of here I will get 5 3 3x, you will get 3x plus 1. Yes, you are getting same thing, right? Now I have got two terms here. Here I have got two terms. This is one term and this is second term. In these two terms, what is the common thing I have? 3x plus 1 is common. In both the terms I have 3x plus 1. So let's take 3x plus 1 as a common here. So whenever I take 3x plus 1 here, I am gonna left with 2x. Here after taking 3x plus 1 as common, I am gonna left with 5. What kind of 5? Plus 5. Understood? Now I can write, so 3x plus 1 and 2x plus 5 are the two factors of this, are the two factors of the given polynomial. So that's why, so finally you can say 6x square plus 17x plus 5. I can write this in this form. So this back, I can split this back. That means here I simply writing 6 is equal to 2 cross 3, right? Okay. So let's assume this is a 6. And let's say it is a 2 and 3. Okay. So these are the two factors. Why? Because this also divides this equation and this also divides this equation. To find out the factors, this is the first method, middle term splitting method. I hope you understood this middle term splitting method. Okay, simple. One more time I will tell you. First step, here you have to multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant term. So you will get some value. And write down its factors. Okay, this is first step. Clear? First step clear is multiplying the coefficient of x square with the constant term, and you have to write the factors of it. Then split the middle term. Then split the middle term such a way that product of those two things should give you this, and sum or addition should sum or subtraction should give you the coefficient of the middle term. So like that you have to select those two numbers from the list, factor list of the this term. I hope you understood. And don't forget here, this sign of the bigger value is compulsory sign of the middle term. You have to copy the sign of the middle term to the bigger value. So you are going to split middle term into two values, right? So in those two values, whichever is the bigger value, that will take the sign of the middle term. These are the important conditions you should remember while applying middle term splitting. I hope you guys are understanding this. Okay, I'll just take a bit rest. So I just wanted to communicate with you now. Guys, you tell me one thing. Did you try to classify? I'll try to do it with the factor theorem. I'll apply the factor theorem. Here what was the polynomial I have taken? So the same polynomial I will take here. So that is p of x is equal to 6x square plus 17x plus 5. This is my polynomial. Here what I will do, I'll try to apply factor theorem. Using factor theorem, I am going to find out the factors. Okay, simple. You know factor theorems, we have to find out the values of a's and we have to put the values of a's in this. For those values of a's which it turns to be 0, then we call them as a zeros of factors of them. So let's take the given polynomial here. What is the given polynomial? P of x is equal to 6x square plus 17x plus 5. So in this question, guys, you should keep one thing in your mind. First step of this factor theorem is, first step and foremost step and very important step, you have to remove this. Okay, so to remove 6, what we have to do? Divide whole equation with 6. That's it. That is the only thing. We have to remove the coefficient of x square. We should have coefficient of the highest term here, highest degree term. Okay, so first step is remove the coefficient of highest degree term. Coefficient of high degree term. Highest power term, you can say, highest exponent term or power term or degree term. Okay, simply what we in this question, what we have 6 I have, so I'll divide this equation by 6. Divide p of x by 6. So what happens here? 6x square by 6. Every term I have to divide. 17x by 5 by 6. Okay. Simply here what happens? 6 cancelled out. Here as it is you have to write. So you got x square plus 17 by 6x plus 5 by 6. This is your polynomial. Okay, let's find out. This is now your polynomial. Now here we don't concentrate on the middle term, we concentrate on the constant term. The next step is step 2. I will write here, guys. Step 2, write down the factors of constant term. I took a little bit difficult problem for you guys in the first attempt. Write down. So I hope I will tell you, don't worry. Write down the factors of constant term. Second step. Factors of constant term. So which is this one? This is my constant term. 5 by 6. Here. Oh, here. Class constant term. Okay, what is the constant term? 5 by 6. Yes, here you have to write the factors of 5 by 6. If till now you wrote the factors of 6 and 5, but how to write? Till now you wrote the factors of these numbers. How to write the factors of rational numbers? This kind of numbers, rational numbers, p by q, numbers which are in the form of p. Simple, guys. First you write down the factors of 5. What are the factors of 5? Yes, 1 and 5, only 2. And write down the factors of 6. What are the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3 and 6. Okay. Now you can find out easily. Using this set, you can find out easily the factors of 5 by 6. Take a combination of this in p by q form. Take a combination of the factor list of 5 and 6 in the form of p by q, such a way that the 2 for pair you have to take. The product of those two should give you 5 by 6. If I take 1 by 1, let's take 2 pair. Let's like this, x by y and m by n. Like this you have to take in this factor list only. If I take 1 by 1 here, and here what I have to take? I have to take one more combination. Let's take, I will take here 5 by 6 I will take. Here 5 is here, 6 is here. Let's say it is a m list, x list. Let's say it is y list and n list. Okay, 1 by n. Y. So now here I have to write factors. So I'll write this one over here. 1 comma 1. Here 1 we have, and 5 comma 6. And these are always plus or minus. Plus 1, plus or minus. Okay. Why I wrote here? Why? Because when I multiply these two things, I'll get 5 by 6 only. So such kind of pairs you should write here. This is one factor. And here again I will take 1 by 2 and I'll take 5 by 3. So am I going to write this? 5 into 1, 5. Yes. 2 into 3, 6. Yes, I am getting. So 5 by 6 I am getting. So that I can write this plus or minus 1 by 2 plus or minus 1 by 3 are the factors. So likewise, you write down all the factors. 1 by 1, 5 by 6 is finished. 1 by 2, 5 by 3 is finished. Now what we can do? 1 by 6 I can take and 5 by 1 I can take. Okay, because if you multiply these two things, you will get. Here 1 is there, 5 is there, 6 is there, 1 is there. Understood? Like this you can write here. Plus or minus 1 by 6 and plus or minus 5 by 1 are the factors of this. Okay, I hope you understood how to write the factors. Simply I wrote the factors here. So next step is take these values, find out the p of a here. First you put 1 by 1. So here we have plus or minus values. Here we have various values. Let's say plus or minus 5 by 6. And we have plus or minus 1 by 1. Plus or minus 1 by 2. Plus or minus 1 by 3. We have plus or minus 1 by 6. Plus or minus by 1. We have so many numbers, right? So just keep on putting these numbers. Plus 5 by 6 once you put and check whether this polynomial becomes 0 or not. Minus 5 by 6 you put here. check whether this polynomial becomes 0 or not. Plus 1 by 2 you put here, check whether this polynomial becomes 0 or not. Minus 1 by 2 you put here and check whether you get a polynomial here. So the whenever you get your polynomial becomes 0 for these set of values, if suppose let's say this polynomial is becoming 0 for minus 1 by 2, when you put minus 1 by 2 in this polynomial, if this polynomial, let's say it is p of x, that also minus 1 by 2 here, I am putting minus 1 by 2, I have taken from here, minus 1 by 2 whole square plus 17 by 6 into minus 1 by 2 plus 5 by 6. Let's find out this value. Minus 1 whole square is nothing but 1 and 4. 1 by 4 I will get. So here I will get minus 17 into 1, 17, 6 into plus 5 by 6 and plus 5 by 6 only. Now which is the LCM here? 12 is the LCM because all of these numbers are the multipliers of each other. 12. So everywhere you write 12. 12 1 ja, 6 2 ja. Now 3 1 ja 3 you will get. Here minus 17 you will get. Here 2 plus 5. Here we left 2, right? 2 into 5, that is 10 you are going to get. Here what is the answer you are going to get? 13 minus 17. So first find out 4 12 6. 2 2 ja 2 6 2 3 ja 2 1 ja 2 3 ja 3 2 2 ja 4 4 3 ja 12. 12, right, it is answer. So here we get 27 minus 3, that is 24 upon 12 you are going to get, and 2 you are going to get 2. That is wrong. Okay, equal to 0. If this becomes 0, then you can say minus 1 by 2 is a factor of this. So you can write x minus 1 by 2. Okay, but now this is not turning this my polynomial to be 0, right? Like that you have to put all of these values and you have to take those values which converts this polynomial to be 0. This is how your factor theorem works. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, simply I will find out that, and I don't want to. You have to do with this action for all the polynomials. Okay, let's do the same thing. Some problem I am getting strucking. One minute guys, be in a line. Get struck. Okay, final I will tell you guys. Let me put minus 1 by 3 in this equation. Minus 1 by 3. If I put minus 1 by 3 here, So if I put minus 1 by 3 here, what happens? So that polynomial I'll take here. Minus 1 by 3 square plus 17 by 6 into 1 by 3 plus 5 by 6. So minus 1 by 3 is nothing but 1 by 9 plus 17 by 6 into 1 by 3. Here you don't get 0. Everything will add up and you will get a very big value. Let's find out P of 1 by 3. You will get the value here. So 1 by 3 whole square plus 17 by 6 into 1 by 3 plus 5 by 6. Here what is this equation we have? Everywhere plus is there. So for minus 1 by 3 we'll get answer. Do it this, guys. Okay, you check it like this and you will get an answer for. So we have got 3x plus 1 over there, and 3x plus 1 means 3x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to minus 1 by 3. For minus 1 by 3 you will get answer. You check it out properly. So I'm signing out because I have to start a class over there. So this is minus 1 by 3 we supposed to take. So it will become minus 17 into 1 and 16 through 3, that becomes minus 17 by 8 and 5 by 6. So then you will get 1 by 3 means 1 by 9. 1 by 9 minus 17 by 8 and 5 by 6. You resolve it, it will become 0. Compulsory. Definitely you will get 0 here. So, and you also do it for one more. We have got 3x plus 5, right? So here 3x is equal to minus 5, x is equal to minus 5 by 3. For minus 5 by 3 also you will get answer. For these are the two values. Okay. So I hope you understood. You try with these two things. So minus 1 by 3 you will get for minus 1 by 3 and minus 5 by 3. Minus 1 by 3 if you put, P of minus 1 by 3 will become 0 and P of minus 5 by 3 will also become 0. Okay. So how can you write this in the factor form? Let's write x of, these are the values of a. X is equal to minus 1 by 3 it is, and this is here x is equal to minus 5 by 3. We have got 2. Let's write down. If I take this one towards here, x plus 1 by 3 I will get. If I take towards here, x plus 5 by 3 I will get. If you take LCM here, you will get 3x plus 1 here, and if you take LCM here, you will get 3x plus 5 here. So now this whole polynomial I can write in this form. See, if you can see this, so whatever the thing we have got with the middle, same thing we are getting with the factor term. Yes, I'll begin in a second. 1 second. I'm coming to your class, guys. 1 second. So here we have got, right, 3x plus 1, sorry, we have got 2x plus 5, right, 3x plus 1 here we got. So 2x plus 5 is nothing but is equal to minus 5, x is equal to minus 5 by 2, guys. Minus 5 by 2 and 3x plus 1 is equal to 0 means 3x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to minus 1 for minus 1 by 3 and minus 5 by 2. Okay, I hope you understood. I have to go for the next class. So bye bye, take care. So in one short video I will cover this up.